Hi, Wildtronics in the field. Here are some tips to improve your audio of your bird videos. Many times when you're taking videos with your 400 to 800 millimeter lens connected to your great camera, you get great videos of birds, but the audio just doesn't cut it. It's subpar. You can barely hear the bird most of the time. You've tried adding different stereo mics, different external mics, and it doesn't really help. Nothing's going to really help that much. Unless you have a bird like right from within 20 feet of you, it's not going to help that much. So here's a suggestion. Wildtronics, we make a Pro Mini parabolic microphone. You may have heard of parabolic microphones increasing the gain of birds, and they're used many times for recording all birds all around. That's what people use. They generally use a larger one. Our larger 22-inch one work about 4 times better than the Pro Mini. But you are limited to 400 to 800 millimeter lens with a range of probably a 50 to 100 foot that you're probably taking your videos of birds. So with that range, it works great with the Pro Mini. Pro Mini works great at that range to pick up birds, animals, frogs, anything like that. We have several microphones you can put in here. You can put your own in. We suggest not using a lavalier microphone. Those tend to be very noisy and they probably won't help you much. We have some PIP microphones, a micro mic PIP, a mono mic, and we have a mini stereo PIP, which I'm using here and which I generally use. And then we also have an amp Omni microphone that will also work in here, or an XLR microphone that's powered by an external recorder, not your camera, with 48 volt phantom power. Wind-wise, you could use one of these furry windscreens and they will cover you for most of the winds you'll ever need. We recommend not trying to record in heavy winds because it just reduces the quality of the audio overall, because there's a great distance between you and the subject, and as that subject increases, the wind noise starts mucking it all up. So basically how I do this is I just use a Pro Mini with a hot shoe adapter and put it on the hot shoe of my camera, and then I just plug it straight into the camera itself. If you have a low noise microphone input on your camera body, this setup works great. If not, you'll have to go to the external recorder and then go take an output from the recorder back into the camera. Therefore, you can sync it later in post-editing. So as you can see here, you can move it moves with the camera at this rate. The angle between the lens and the parabolic is almost the same at 50, 100 feet. It's almost it's the same. You don't have to worry about moving this around to find the bird or something. It just follows wherever you point the camera, basically. And that's pretty much it. That's all you got to do. It just works. You just go like that and you point it and you hit the record and it goes. Some suggestions on tripods. A lot of people like using video tripod heads. They think that's the thing to do if you're going to use video, which might be generally good. I've never had really good success in their movements anyway. It's always kind of jittery because you can't really get them to work well anyway. But the big problem with video tripod heads or ball mount or whatever like that is when you're trying to find a bird in video, the hardest part is finding the bird with a long lens, and it's looking at a distance. You find the bird finally, it's moving around, you finally find it perched and you focus it and you start to, and then you need to lock everything down. Well, the time it takes you to lock everything down and set everything down and start recording, the bird may fly away very often. So it's about the speed. So a lot of people, I probably would recommend using one of these gantry style tripod heads. And basically a lot of bird photographers use them, and a good reason why they do it because it's fast and it's easy to do. So basically with the gantry, it's balanced kind of thing. So, and you set it up and you can move it any which way and it'll stay there. So you could find the bird and it just stays there. There's no locking down or anything, and I find it works a lot better. The only issue you might have with it is you need a lens with a foot or some kind of foot like this that will work with them. And the other thing is you will need, it's good to have a lens that doesn't, when you change the focal length, it doesn't extend or come back length, because you're going to change the balance point of the lens with the gantry style thing. You could generally set it up for the focal length you're going to use, and then set up the balance point for that. And then if you need to go down, back it off or something like that, you could put a little drag on this area here, and it'll probably stick anyway. It'll be close enough. But I find those really easy to do, and the tripod with the Pro Mini, it works really good for birds. Works good for a lot of things, but especially birds, because it's in the good frequency range. You get a lot of gain with the parabolic microphone. You'll get up to about 20 to 30 dB of gain, and you just can't get that with any other microphone. And that's why it works so good with picking up really great video, audio for your videos. So past this little introduction, we're going to have little samples of how it works.